It's the volunteers that make it happen. I spoke to a selection of lay leaders, past, current, and future, who are responsible for the largest Jewish educational conclave in the world.
Yeah, it's spreading like a rash everywhere. It's in North America, in Toronto, in New York, in Los Angeles, Colorado, Atlanta, and so on. It's in South America, in Buenos Aires, in Sao Paulo, in Brazil. It's in South Africa, in Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban. It's all over Europe. Pretty well every country in Europe has a Limmud, from Scandinavia to Bulgaria. Turkey has a large Limmud. In Eastern Europe, of course in Poland and Hungary and places like that, in Russia and Ukraine and so forth. We've also in Israel, in the Galil, in Modi'in, in the Arava, in the Negev. We have in Australia, in Sydney and Melbourne, in Auckland, in New York, in New Zealand, and Hong Kong is just coming on stream now.
It sounds like it's part of a major Jewish revival through Limmud.
Well, it is. I think it's exactly that. What it does is it gives people a chance to, in the slogan that they had in Atlanta, to be the Jew you want to be. But to take it seriously. You know, Jews shouldn't just forget that they're Jews. They should know they're Jews, and it should mean something valuable. And so this gives people a chance with the huge variety of programming that goes on. And Limmud's very deliberate. We're not going to tell you what's right. You learn, and then you decide. Our slogan is, we're going to help every Jew take one step further on their own Jewish journey. So that means, you know where you want to go, or maybe you don't. Come and look around and you'll find a way.
And that includes in Israel as well. But how much of a role does Israel, as an educational tool, as a center of your programming activity, have a role?
Well, I would say probably most of the big Limmuds around the world invite to them Israeli educators, because clearly Israel is a powerhouse of knowledge and education. But then come to that, the Israeli events invite to them non-Israeli educators. Because one of the rich things about Limmud is this business of realizing that your community, wherever it is, isn't alone. And there's more to being Jewish than you can see just in your own streets.
One of the most special things about Limmud is the way that a community of people from diverse backgrounds comes together. I mean, you see an Orthodox rabbi sitting down with a Reform rabbi, and it's irrelevant to what their denominations are. They're speaking to each other as Jews and as human beings, and not as people from denominational backgrounds. And in fact, entire days can go by when people just don't think of their denomination they're from. They're here to do Jewish learning. Like all Limmud volunteers, it's a labour of love. I mean, if you look at most institutions within the Jewish world, how do you achieve a place on the board? It's by how much you give, if we're being blunt about it. Limmud is very much a meritocracy. It's about what you give and when you give that.
Not financial.
Not financial. And like all Limmud volunteers, I started off as chair of Teen Limmud, then I became chair of Young Limmud, then the chair of our program, then a trustee, and I took over as chair 4 years ago. So I've been involved with Limmud for a long, long time. And I guess, like any labour of love, you do it because you really value what you're doing. I really value the events we're creating. I think we're making a huge impact on the British community. I think we're making a huge impact on the Jewish world, and I'm hugely proud to be associated with that.
There are few things that I would like to change on the basis that it's already a hugely successful organisation, but there are things that I'd like to build on. So one, we are always at the cutting edge of Jewish education, and I'd like us to remain at the cutting edge, so I want us to innovate a little bit more. I'd like us to share some of the expertise from Limmud International and bring that both back to the UK and across our international events. I'd like us to refocus on our volunteers. So we have about 600 volunteers or more across the world working on events, and I think we can do more to support and develop them. They are the current and future leaders of world Jewry, in my opinion. We can do more with them. And I'd like us to refocus on what we're really about. So refocus on volunteerism, refocus on us as cross-generational and cross-communal, and build on that and continue to grow.
So there is no fear on your part that Limmud could become static, that Limmud could basically stand in place, become establishment per se?
Absolutely not. I think because we are volunteer-led, whenever a volunteer comes to us with an idea, a suggestion, an innovation, more often than not, we run with it. So as long as there are still volunteers who want to get involved, we will never stand still.
But you know, if there's 2 Jews, there's at least 3 synagogues. How do you avoid all sorts of pulls in different directions to try to make Limmud what different individuals might want it to become rather than what it is?
I think that's true. I think there are lots of people that might want us to move in different directions. I think we have a very core set of values, and that's what we come back to time and time again. So if people come with an idea that we think doesn't fit our mission and values, then it doesn't happen. If they come with an idea that absolutely fits with that, then we run with it.
The British model has obviously been successful, and you're running events all over Britain, many events over many, many years, in fact, and it's been growing. But the international Limmud has not yet reached that kind of level. What kind of push will have to take place in order to have international Limmud become more like British Limmud?
I don't even know if it needs to become like British Limmud. I think Limmud in every community around the world will be different. I'm not sure that they necessarily want to become like us. I think what they want is to create their place in their community, and that might look different. I don't think it needs to look like ours.
Now, I understand about the importance of Jewish education in the diaspora.
Sure.
But in Israel itself, is there an important place for Limmud as well?
Sure. Everywhere should have a Limmud. I think it looks different from what it looks like here, but clearly the fact that there are a number of Limmuds in different communities in Israel suggests there is absolutely a need for it. The one Limmud in Galil has been going for a number of years, and they've now introduced a fest. So I would say as long as there are volunteers wanting to run it and people to come, then there's absolutely a place and a need for it.
So would you say that it's an exaggeration to say that, as I've heard from some commenting here, that the future of Jewish education is Limmud?
I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think we provide something that no other organization provides. I don't know anywhere else you can go and you can learn with your children, with your grandparents, where you can learn truly cross-communally. And you just have to look around here to say, I think that would be amazing if the future of Jewish education sat with us. We'd take that on.
The late evenings at Limmud were heavily into culture and music.
Oh, Jerusalem, I think I understand what it is about you. Where your complicated situation always sparks a conversation, and it's all in the name of you. Oh, searching, yeah, everyone's searching for meaning in your land. Oh, craving, yeah, everyone's craving to call you their own. How they hunger for your throne. Well, the whole world's watching, the people talking like they understand you, but they got you all wrong. And it's all in your name, the source of your fame. You're the city of peace.
כל מקום שאני הולך, אני הולך לירושלים. כל מקום שאני הולך, אני הולך לציון.
Hey yo, it's been a good ride, but we far from done as steep climb. Some cheap wine to greet the stars and sun. The war's been won without collateral damage. Can you believe it? Not one bullet, carbon bomb, a bandage. No tanks or shanks, just praise and thanks. Had to break ranks with them hateful snakes. Yo, there's more at stake than just what's on your plate. The Most High and the human race are on a blind date. Desperately searching for something, anything to feel free. When all I had to do was let me be the real me. And all the problems that I blamed on everybody else are really internal struggles I had to deal with myself. I'm not saying that it's all in the mind, cause for real we co-creating with the aid of the divine. I mean, for sure we play a role and even got a big part in this cosmic drama life, God's greatest work of art.
My spiritual bent is to see the holiness in all places, all people, all things. I love the land and the feeling of Israel, and for me it's very highly politicized. And so my plane ticket or my presence there is a vote. And I feel as connected, or I have felt as connected in New York City as I have in Yerushalayim. I love Yerushalayim. I love New York.
יש לי מלא בקשות, 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 בקשות לבקש ממך, למרות שאצלי בסך הכל, הכל בסדר. תודות, 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 תודות. בקשות, 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 בקשות.
And that's all the time we have for this week's edition of Close Up at the Limmud Conference at the University of Warwick. We value your comments. You can write to us at ibatvnews@gmail.com. And next week we'll be back in our Jerusalem studio. And until then, thanks for being with us, and shalom from England.